start the recording. So before beginning this or any movement program, please seek approval from your physician by joining us. You're voluntarily participating in this practice. Understand potential dangers and assume and accept all risks. Wandering Lotus Yoga and its employees are not liable for any injury sustained during this practice. So as I mentioned in my email, it'll be helpful to have a couple blocks handy today, maybe a blanket. We're going to be focusing, our theme tonight is transitions. I've been thinking about the fact that this is our last class together, and thinking about how endings are a natural part of life. According to Buddhism, everything that has a beginning has an ending as well. And the only thing that we can count on being permanent is change. So, and also the idea that beginning or endings can also sometimes lead to a new beginning. So I want to think about that in our practice tonight. In yoga, when we think about impermanence and change and that transition between different states, we think about vinyasa or flow. And vinyasa is really the movement between different shapes guided by the breath. So that's what we'll be doing a lot of tonight, is some kind of mini vinyasas, a little bit more so than usual. So we're going to start in Sukhasana. I will offer a mudra and I'll show you kind of up close before we get started. So if you bring the hands together, this is Trimurti Mudra, and it represents the trinity of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So bring the hands together, and then if you keep the index fingers and the thumbs together and then open the palms away from each other, like you're opening up a book. So you've got a triangle representing the Trinity, and then just flip it down so that your fingers are pointing down towards the earth, and you can rest your hands on your belly if you're comfortable with that. We'll get started in Sukhasana, easy seated pose. And if you'd like a block for some support underneath you, or perhaps I'm going to use a blanket today, so you can have a folded blanket underneath and just find a comfortable, easy seated pose with legs crossed, and begin to find the sit bones connecting to the earth, and stack the vertebra one on top of the other from the base of the spine all the way to the crown of the head, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the back of the neck, maybe letting the chin drop slightly, finding your mudra if you haven't already, placing that on the belly. And if you're comfortable, relax the gaze or close the eyes and start to transition here from a day that was likely filled with tasks, maybe taking care of other people, taking care of jobs or responsibilities, focused on the external world, things you needed to do or accomplish, and begin to transition inward, letting go of everything that needs to be done, focusing on the self, the mind, the body, the spirit for the next 60 minutes, letting go of any need to control or accomplish anything except for breath and movement. And start to notice the breath coming in through the nostrils and out through the nostrils. Notice the sit bones connected to the earth. And a reminder from Buddha, who tells us that it's not impermanence of life that causes our suffering. It's our attachment to the permanent. It's our desire for things to be permanent. So in today's practice, see if you can let go of that attachment and go with the flow. Go with the vinyasa today. If you have an intention, I invite you to set your intention for today's practice. And we'll practice some box breathing. And box breathing, if you haven't done this before, is inhale to a count of 4, and then we'll hold it. That transition between inhale and exhale, we'll hold for a count of 4, and then we'll exhale to a count of 4, and then hold it at the bottom of the exhale for another count of 4. So let's take one inhale here through the nose and exhale it all out through the mouth. And then sealing the lips, inhaling through the nose to a count of 4. Finding the top of your breath, holding it for 4. Exhaling it all out to a count of 4. And holding it at the bottom for 4. Then back up, inhaling for 4. Holding for 4. Exhaling for 4. And holding for 4. Taking a couple more rounds at your own pace, letting your breath be your guide, counting inside your head, inhaling to 4, holding it for 4, exhaling to 4, and holding it to 4. One more round. When you're ready, release the Trimurti Mudra. Maybe roll the shoulders back and forward. Take an inhale here and exhale to drop the chin to chest. Inhale to come back to center and exhale to gaze up at the sky. Inhaling, coming back to center. Exhaling, turning the head to the right. Inhaling back to center. Turning to the left, let your eyes be your guide. Inhaling back to center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, side bend to the right. Inhaling, coming back to center. Exhaling, side bend to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, twisting to the right. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, twisting to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale to press the knuckles towards the mat, lift the gaze. And exhale to fold over the crossed legs. And inhale to return, release the grip behind you. And we'll come into a tabletop position, stacking all of our joints. So stacking the shoulders over the wrists, stacking the hips over the knees. Fingers are spread wide. Inhale to drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the tail into cow. Exhale to round the spine, tucking the tail, tucking the chin. And letting your breath be your guide, flowing back and forth between cow and cat. Flossing out the spine, inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. Feel free to take any other organic movement that feels good to your body, warming up the spine, warming up the low back and the hips. And on your next exhale, find stillness, returning to that neutral flat back. Inhale and sweep the right arm up. The gaze can follow. And exhale to thread the right arm underneath the left, coming into the thread the needle. Left hand can stay near the face, or you can crawl the left fingertips up towards the top of your mat. Or you could take a half bind here, bringing the left hand to the sacrum and grasping the right crease, right hip crease. Take a round of breath here. And if you moved the hand, return it to the in front of your face and pressing up, inhaling, sweeping the right arm up, exhaling, returning the right hand to the mat. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Exhale, threading underneath the right hand, resting the left ear on the mat. Right hand can stay here, or you can crawl the right hand up to the top of the mat, or you can take a half bind, placing the right hand at the base of the spine, grasping for the left hip crease, opening up, spinning up the right shoulder open, leveling out the hips. Take a round of breath here. And if you move the hand, return it next to the face and pressing up, inhale, sweep the left arm up, gaze follows, and exhale, returning to tabletop. Inhale to extend the right arm and in front of you and the left leg behind you, coming into a bird dog. And exhale, draw the right elbow to the left knee. Inhale to extend long. Exhale to draw elbow to knee. Inhale to extend. Exhale to curl in. One more time, inhaling to extend. And exhale, curling elbow to knee. Inhale to extend. And exhale to bend the left knee, shining the heel towards the sky. And option here to reach around with the right hand and grasp the left toes, gazing over the right shoulder for tiger pose. Take a round of breath here. And then releasing the bind back into bird dog and then returning to tabletop. Inhale, left arm comes in front and right foot comes behind you. Exhale, draw elbow to knee. Inhale to extend. Exhale to draw elbow to knee. Inhale, extending. Exhale, draw elbow to knee. One more time, inhaling to extend long. Exhale, flowing into a curl position. And then inhaling to extend. Exhale, bend the right knee, shining the heel towards the sky. And if it's comfortable, reach around with the left hand, grasping for the right toes. Gaze can be over the left shoulder. Take a round of breath here. And then release the toes, extending long into bird dog, and lower the hands and the knee to the mat. Tuck the toes and begin to send the hips up and back into our first downward facing dog. Spread the fingers wide, relax the shoulders, relax the neck. Maybe bend the knees and see if you can find a little bit more length in the spine here. And then straighten the knees. See if that adds any length for you. Pedal out the feet if that feels good, bending one knee and then the other. Take any movements you need here in this down dog. And then on an inhale, we'll shift forward, coming into plank. And exhale, flowing back into downward facing dog. Inhaling into plank. And exhaling into down dog. Inhaling, finding plank. Exhaling, transitioning into downward facing dog. One more time, inhaling into plank. And exhaling into downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees, look at the hands, and exhale to step, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale for a half lift, and exhale to fold. Inhale for half lift again. And exhale back into your forward fold, flowing between a half lift on the inhale and exhaling into a forward fold. Couple more times, inhaling into a flat back, noticing the beginnings and endings of the movement as you forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And this time we'll stay here in our forward fold. And feel free to separate the feet a little bit, maybe hip width distance apart if you haven't already. And find heaviness in the crown of the head, bringing the crown of the head towards the mat. Maybe bend the knees, let the belly rest on the top of the thighs. If it feels good, you can interlace the fingers behind the back for a shoulder rinse here. I'm going to shake the head no, shake the head yes. And then release any bind that you may have taken. And inhale, circle, sweep the hands. Exhale, hands come to heart center. And we'll do a few different standing flows here, starting to build a little bit of heat. And feel free, since we're doing a lot of vinyasa today, feel free to take water breaks at any time that you might need that. So we'll start with hands on hips. We'll inhale into wind release and exhale to extend the right leg forward. Inhale to draw the knee back in. Exhale to extend the leg. Inhale to bend the knee. Exhale to extend. Take an inhale here. And this time on our exhale, finding a drishti or a point in front of you, something that's not moving, to concentrate your gaze and making the left foot heavy. Take an inhale here and then exhale to shift back into warrior three. And we'll flow here, inhaling into extended one leg pose. And exhale into warrior three. Take your time, find your spot, inhaling into one-legged pose and exhaling into warrior three. Inhaling, coming back. Ooh, balance is not great today. Inhaling, coming back into one-legged pose. Exhale to bend the knee. Take an inhale here. And then exhale to lower the right leg. Shake all of that out on that side. And we'll try the other side, noticing how balance may differ on the other side. Keeping the hands on the hips, inhale, raise the left knee into wind release. Exhale to extend the left leg. Inhale to bend the knee. Exhale to extend. Inhale to bend. Exhale to extend. Find your spot in front of you that's not moving to help you focus and balance a little bit. Ground the right foot into the mat. Make sure it's really strong. Take an inhale here. And then exhaling into warrior three. Inhaling back into one-legged, extended one-legged pose. And exhaling back into warrior three. Inhale to extend. And exhale to warrior three. Inhale to extend. Exhale to bend the knee. Take an inhale here and exhale to lower the foot. Let all that go. And we'll spread the feet about hip width distance apart and interlace the fingers behind the head. Taking an inhale here, and on an exhale, drawing the right elbow and the left knee to touch. Inhaling to return. Exhaling to bring right knee to left elbow and inhaling to return. So at your own pace, inhaling to return, exhaling to bring knee to elbow. We'll do a few rounds of these here using our balance and also warming up the body a little bit more. Flowing back and forth, knee to elbow, opposite knee to elbow, letting the breath help you to transition. And on your next exhale, find stillness in the center and release the hands. And we'll step the feet together in mountain pose. And on an inhale, we'll jump the feet apart and the hands will shoot up into star pose. So I'll show you what that looks like. Inhaling into star pose and then exhaling back into mountain pose. We'll do about 5 of those. So inhaling into star, exhaling into mountain. Inhale to star, exhale to mountain. Inhale to star, exhale mountain. Inhaling into star, exhaling mountain. I think this is 5, inhaling star. I've got the 2 math people here with me today. Exhaling into mountain. And then our last standing pose here, we will step the feet wide and maybe spin the toes out a little bit. Heels can come in a little bit. Hands are on the hips. Inhale here. Exhale for a half fold with a flat back. Bring the hands to the mat. And take an inhale here and exhale to bend the right knee into a side lunge. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale to bend the left knee to side lunge. Flowing back and forth, inhale to center. Exhale to bend to the right, letting your breath be your guide. Taking several rounds here. Stretching the inner thighs, moving between sides, finding a transition in the center. And when you feel complete on each side, come back to center and bring the hands to the hips and slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Step the feet together and find Tadasana at the top of your mat. We'll take some sun salutation breaths here. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale for half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to circle, sweep the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Follow the breath. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale for half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root to rise. Sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. 1 more. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale for half lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a round of centering breath here. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale for flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to plank pose. Exhale, roll forward on the toes, lowering into chaturanga, half push-up. And then inhaling into upward facing dog. Knees can be on the mat or lifted up off of the mat. Rolling over the toes, exhaling into downward facing dog. Inhale to pick up the right foot, finding three-legged dog. Exhale, draw the knee to the nose for tiger curl. Inhale to extend, three-legged dog. Exhale to curl the knee in towards the nose. Inhale to extend. Exhale to round into tiger curl. Inhale to extend. And exhale to lower the right foot to the mat. Inhale, pick up the left leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw the left knee towards the nose. Inhale to extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to extend. Exhale, knee to nose. And inhale to extend. Exhale to lower the left foot. Inhale, bend the knees and look at the hands. Exhale, step, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale for a flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root to rise, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Round of centering breath here. And inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale for a flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale to pick up the right foot and step it behind you. You may want to find your blocks here. Exhale to lower the right knee to the ground. Untuck the toes. Find your blocks for support. Coming into a low crescent lunge. Take an inhale here and shine the heart forward. Take an exhale to sink the hips a little bit deeper, supporting yourself on your blocks. Blocks can be on the, I have mine on the medium setting. Maybe yours are on the high setting, whatever's comfortable for you. And we're going to flow between low lunge and half splits. So an inhale to shine the heart forward, and exhale to shift the hips back towards the heel, extending the left leg straight, flexing the toes towards the face, and inhaling, pressing back into low lunge. Exhaling, pressing back into half splits. Inhaling into low lunge. And exhaling into half splits. One more round. Inhaling into low lunge. Exhaling into half splits. Inhale to return to low lunge. Tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. Take an inhale here in runner's lunge. Still probably using our blocks. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's an option. So take an inhale here in runner's lunge, and then exhale, sending the hips back into pyramid, straightening the left leg. Maybe the back is flat here, or maybe it's drawn, your nose is drawn towards your knee. And then inhaling back into runner's lunge, exhaling into pyramid. Inhale to find runner's lunge. Exhale to transition into pyramid. Inhale back into runner's lunge. Drop the right knee, untuck the toes, remove the blocks and frame the left foot. Tuck the back toes and bring the left foot to meet the right, finding plank. And exhale to slowly lower yourself to the mat, letting the knees drop when necessary. Setting up for cobra, placing the fingertips underneath the shoulders, zipping up the legs, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat so hard the knees lift up off of the mat, shoulder blades draw together. And inhale here to peel the heart up off the mat. Shoulder blades draw down the back, keep the neck long. Exhale to rest the head back on the mat. Inhale to come back up into low cobra. And exhale to release. One more round, inhaling into low cobra, draw the shoulder blades together. And exhale, pressing back, relaxing on the mat, tuck the toes, press back into downward facing dog. Inhale to pick up the right foot, three-legged dog. Exhale to send the right foot between the hands. Take your time. And drop the back knee, untuck the toes, drop the left knee, untuck the toes, finding a low lunge here. Again, we'll use our blocks. And inhale to shine the heart forward. And exhale to press the hips back into half splits, straightening the right knee, flexing the toes towards the face. Inhaling to find a low lunge. Exhaling into half splits. Inhaling into low lunge. Exhaling into half splits. Inhale to lunge. Exhale into half splits. Inhale back into our low lunge. And this time we'll tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and find a runner's lunge with the right leg forward, right knee bent. Blocks underneath our hands. And exhale to shift the hips back into pyramid. Inhale to come forward into runner's lunge. Exhale to straighten the right leg. Inhale to come forward. Exhale to straighten. Inhale to come back to runner's lunge and remove our blocks. Frame the right foot with the hands. And on an inhale, bring the left foot to meet the right. Exhale to fold. Inhale to circle, sweep the arms. Exhale to draw the hands to heart center. Nice job, everyone. Take a round of centering breath here. And we'll come through a chair flow. So on an inhale, sweep the arms up and simultaneously sit the hips back. Make sure you can see the toes, that you can lift the toes up off the mat. Weight is in the balls of the heel, the heels of the feet and the balls of the feet. Draw the hands to heart center. And take a round of breath here. On your next exhale, twist to the left, bring in the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. And inhale to open up the arms. Take a breath here. And on your next inhale, bring the left foot behind you. Whoops, sorry, bring the right foot behind you. I got so many math people here. It's confusing me. Bring the right foot behind you, keeping the right hand on the mat. Gaze can be up towards the left fingertips for a revolved side angle or a revolved lunge. And then on our next inhale, we'll bring the right foot back to join the left and bring the hands back to the heart center. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale to dive forward. Inhale to sit back into chair. And exhale to find Tadasana. We'll try that on the other side. I'm going to switch directions. I'll do that after I get started. Inhale, sweep the arms up and sit back into your chair. Take a look at your feet. Lift the toes up off your mat. Exhale to draw the hands to heart center. Take an inhale here. And exhale, this time twisting to the right, left elbow comes to the outside of the right knee. Inhale to open up the arms. And exhale to send the, the right foot behind you for a revolved lunge or a revolved side angle. Gaze can be up at the right hand. And then inhale to bring the right foot back to join the left. Bring the hands back to heart center. Inhale to come back to center and chair pose. Exhale to dive forward. And then inhale to sweep the arms up and sit back in your chair. And exhale to find mountain pose. Good job. I'm going to take a water break. Grab a glass or a drink of water, a sip of water if you need one. And we're going to come through a warrior flow. And what we'll do is we'll do the warrior flow once at a little bit slower pace, and then we'll do it breath for movement, more of a vinyasa. So starting at the top of your mat, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale to dive forward. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to step back to plank. And exhale to roll over on your toes and lower into chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale to pick up the right leg. Exhale to send it between the hands. Plant the back foot at a 45-degree angle. And inhale, come on up into warrior one. So in warrior one, we'll take a moment to square the hips towards the top of the mat. Pressing the big toe edge of the right foot into the ground, the pinky toe edge of the left foot into the ground, scissoring the thighs together. And then interlacing the fingers behind the back. And pressing the fingers, the knuckles towards the mat. And then on an exhale, bringing the right shoulder to the inside of the right knee for humble warrior. And inhale, coming back up into warrior one. And maybe shortening our stance just a little bit by bringing the left foot maybe an inch or two up towards the top of your mat. We're going to start to put the weight into our right leg. We're going to come into warrior three here. So we're beginning to move forward and pick up the left toes. Hips are square towards the top of your mat. See if you can lift the leg a little bit higher. Take a rounded breath here. And then we'll bring the left leg back down. Windmill the arms, finding warrior two. Sit deep into the right knee. See if you can get that right thigh parallel to the earth. Drawing the left fingertips towards the back of your mat and the right fingertips towards the front. Gazing over the middle finger on the right hand. And inhale to reverse your warrior. And exhale to find extended side angle, making sure not to put too much weight on the right leg. And then we'll inhale to come back up into warrior two. Hands on the hips, shorten your stance, and find Tadasana on the top of your mat. So we'll take a round of breath here. And this time we'll go through breath with movement through that same flow. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale for a flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale to step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing dog. Exhale for downward facing dog. Inhale, pick up the right leg. Exhale, send it between the hands, plant the back foot. Inhale, coming up into warrior one. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale to press the knuckles towards the mat. Exhale, finding humble warrior. Inhale to come back. Exhale, setting up, coming into warrior three. Inhaling to lower into warrior two. Windmill the arms. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, coming back to warrior two. Exhale, Tadasana at the top of your mat. Nice job. We'll do that on the other side. We'll do it slow first, and then we'll do it breath for movement. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale for a flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, stepping back to plank. Exhale, rolling over on the toes, lowering halfway to chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. This time, pick up the left leg. And exhale to send it between the hands, planting the back foot at a 45-degree angle. Setting up for warrior one. Inhale to sweep the arms up, biceps alongside next to the ears. Exhale to sit a little bit deeper. Square the hips towards the top of your mat. Scissor the thighs together, inner thighs together, pressing the right pinky toe into the edge of the mat and the left big toe into the mat. And then find your interlaced fingers, changing the grip this time. Take an inhale here and press the knuckles in towards the mat, down towards the mat, and exhale, finding humble warrior, bringing the left shoulder to the inside of the left knee. Take a round of breath here. And then we'll inhale to come back up. Release your grip and shorten your stance. And we'll find warrior three here, lifting the right toes up off the mat. Arms can be extended alongside you. Finding a point that helps you keep your balance. And then slowly lowering the right foot to the mat, windmill the arms, opening up into warrior two. Check out your warrior two. See if you can sit a little bit deeper in this left thigh. Maybe it can get a little closer to being parallel to the earth, pressing the right pinky toe into the edge of the mat, extending the arms long, finding your drishti over the middle finger, the middle front finger, and then inhaling to reverse your warrior. And then on an exhale, we can find extended side angle, making sure not to use the left knee as a piece of furniture. Right arm is alongside the ear. Take a round of breath here. And then we'll come back up to warrior two and find the top of your mat, Tadasana, mountain pose. So we'll go through that breath with movement. Take a round of breath here to find your center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale to dive forward. Inhale for a flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale to step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, pick up the left leg. Exhale, send it between the hands. Inhale, coming up into warrior one. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale to press the knuckles towards the mat. Exhale to fold into humble warrior. Inhale to come back up. Exhale to shorten the stance. Inhaling into warrior three, lifting the right toes off of the mat. Exhale, spiral the arms, opening up into warrior two. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhaling, coming back up into warrior two. Exhale, Tadasana at the top of your mat. Great job. So we're going to flow between garland and half lift here. So you can bring your feet towards the edges of your mat. Spin the toes out at an angle, heels in. Take an inhale here. And exhale for a half lift. Maybe your hands reach the mat, maybe they don't. Inhale here. Exhale to bend the knees over the toes, finding garland or yogic squat. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale to find garland, Malasana. Inhale for a flat back. Exhale, Malasana. Inhale for a flat back. And exhale to find Malasana. Place your hands behind you and take a seat on your mat. You've made it. So we're going to set up for some boat pose variations here. So we'll start with the feet planted on the mat, knees are bent, and arms are extended alongside in front of us. And slowly starting to tip back as we lift one leg and then the other, keeping the knees bent and the shins parallel to the earth. And then we'll flow between toe taps here, exhaling to tap, inhaling to lift at your own pace, right and left. And once you've finished the left side and you feel pretty even, we'll find stillness back in the center. And we'll start to lower onto our backs. And then we'll come back up into our boat pose. And then we'll lower onto our backs. And we'll come back up into our boat pose. Lower onto back. And one more time, up into boat. Inhale here. Exhale to open up for revolved boat. Inhale to come back to center. And exhale to the other side. Inhale to come back. And exhale to place the feet on the mat. And slowly lower one vertebra at a time onto your back, setting up for bridge. So bringing the knees about hip width distance apart, making sure that you imagine if you have something between your knees, like a block that you're squeezing, you're pressing isometrically to keep it held in place. And the palms are planted on the mat. And on an inhale, sending the hip points up towards the sky, making sure the knees stay together. And you can take an option here to lift one heel and then the other. Or if you would like a more challenging flow, you can lift one leg and then lower it. And lift another leg and lower it. Back and forth between the right and the left. Finding flow, synchronizing your movement with your breath. And when you feel complete, you can lower the back to the ground one vertebra at a time. Checking our time here. Let's actually take a couple rock and rolls here. Finding transition between laying down and sitting up. And we're going to come up and find stillness here. And come into Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. And if it's available to you, you can take your hands and place them underneath each ankle so that your hands are holding onto your feet, but your wrists are underneath your ankles. And we've done some balancing Baddha Konasana before. This time we're going to do some balancing Baddha Konasana, rolling back and forth. So we'll start by finding a balancing Baddha Konasana, and then we'll come back into a roll, and then we'll find the balancing Baddha Konasana. So let's try that maybe 3 times. See, you'll have to get enough momentum to get back up, and then see if you can hold your balance and find an ending to that roll. And the next time you're up, release the feet. We'll come into a straddle. So extending the legs wide, maybe a slight bend in the knees. Inhale to raise the arms parallel to the mat, and exhale to twist to the right, grasping the right ankle with the left hand. Inhaling, coming back to center. Exhaling, twisting to the left. Flowing back to center on an inhale. Exhaling to twist to the right. Inhaling back to center. And exhaling to twist to the left. Inhale to center. And release the arms. And we'll come back down onto our backs. And we'll take some twists here. So extending the arms into a T. Inhaling to pick up the toes off the mat, drawing the knees towards the chest. And exhaling, letting the knees drop over to the left. And finding flow here. Inhaling back to center, using the core to draw the legs back up to center. Exhaling, dropping the knees over to the right. Inhale, using the strength of the core, coming back to center. Exhaling, letting the knees go over to the left. Inhale, coming back to center. And exhaling over to the right. We'll even it out. Inhaling, coming back to center. Exhaling over to the left. Inhaling back to center. And exhaling, returning the feet to the mat. And inhale to pick up the hips and shift them over towards the right edge of your mat. And slowly let the legs, the knees drop over to the left. Arms are still in a T. Take an inhale here. And on an exhale, bring the right arm over to join the left. Inhale to open up the arms. Exhale to place the right palm on top of the left. Inhale to open. And exhale to close. Inhale, come back to center. Bring the knees with you. And inhale, pick up the hips and shift them over to the left. Exhale to let the knees drop over to the right. Take an inhale here. And exhale, bring the right palm on top, the left palm on top of the right. And inhale to open back up. Exhale to close. Inhale to open. And exhale to close. Inhale to open. And exhale to close. Inhale to come back open, bringing the knees with you, shifting the hips back to center. We'll take a little bit of an inversion here. So if you like to have a block underneath the sacrum for legs up the wall, I invite you to grab a block, or if it feels more restorative to have a blanket underneath your sacrum, that's fine too. And on an inhale, bringing the soles of the feet to shine up towards the sky. An option to stay here or to take one final flow. Inhaling to open the legs. Exhaling to close. Inhaling to open. Exhaling to close. Inhaling to open, finding that transition, finding that flow between open and closed, letting your breath be your guide, finding a beginning that moves into an ending, and an ending that moves into a beginning. And when you're ready, if you found movement, go ahead and return to stillness and legs up the wall. Take 3 rounds of breath here. Giving the heart some rest. We've done a lot of work with vinyasa today. Your heart's been working hard. Give it a rest. And then lower the feet. Remove the block if you had it. And take happy baby. Maybe rocking from side to side, massaging the low back. Maybe you want to extend your legs. Find a final stretch in the back of the legs. Whatever feels good to you right now. And then find your final resting shape. Maybe it's Shavasana, legs extended towards the corners of your mat. And arms extended alongside the body. Palms facing up. And let go of all of the work that you've done. The purpose of the work is to help you prepare for a final rest so you can be reborn. And that movement between birth and death, which Buddhists say that is what life is. It's being born and dying and constant movement between those two. Take a moment just to sink into your mat and let the body puddle. Start to bring movement to fingers and toes, deepening your movement, maybe bending the knees, maybe stretching the arms overhead, maybe windshield wiper the legs. When you're ready, come to side resting pose on the side of your choice. Taking a breath here. Acknowledging the work that you've done. And reconnecting with your intention for today. And then pressing back up, finding Sukhasana. Easy seated pose. And we'll take a final breath together. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, draw the hands to heart center, bow the head. Acknowledge the work that you've done for your mind, body, and spirit today. And thank you yourself for showing up for you on the mat. And I thank you all for joining me in this practice today and for this series of 12 classes. It's been awesome to have you all here. May our practice benefit all beings. Namaste.